How far would you go to uncover the truth? Even if it meant watching your entire life burn down? Before we dive in, let me ask you again. How far would you go to discover a truth that could destroy everything you know? Hi, friend. Thanks for being here. If it's your first time listening, make sure to hit subscribe, share this story with someone who needs to hear it, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I love connecting with all of you. Now, let's begin. The phone vibrated quietly against the polished oak desk. Adrien looked up from his laptop, eyes bleary from hours of dissecting quarterly financial reports. He reached for the phone instinctively, out of habit, not curiosity. One message. No contact name. No previous thread. No images or emojis. Just 7 words. Redwood Tavern. Back corner booth. Come now if you want the truth. Adrien stared at it, blinking slowly. His first instinct was that it must be a mistake. A prank. Maybe even a scam. But something about the wording hit him like a gut punch. It wasn't random. It was intentional. Come now if you want the truth. Those words embedded themselves into his mind like splinters. They echoed, twisted, refused to let go. His stomach clenched before his brain could even process why. He knew. Somewhere deep down, he already knew. It was about her. Elise. She had told him she'd be at her mother's tonight. Just a short visit, she'd said with that usual breezy calm. Nothing about it had seemed unusual. Still, Adrien found himself grabbing his keys without even thinking. The streets blurred past him, bathed in the dull glow of streetlights. His pulse thudded with every turn of the wheel. Redwood Tavern. It wasn't just a bar. It was a memory bank. Birthdays, anniversaries, first toasts, and whispered plans. But tonight, it loomed ahead like a grave marker for something that had died. He parked a block away. From his car, the tavern looked ordinary, warm, quiet. But Adrien's gut said otherwise. He took the side entrance, sliding into the shadows, moving like a man rehearsing a scene he never wanted to play. He scanned each booth as subtly as he could. And then he saw her. Elise. She looked stunning. Hair perfectly styled, eyes glowing, her laugh light and intimate. But she wasn't alone. A man sat across from her. Sharp suit. Designer watch. The kind of man who didn't need to try to dominate a room, he just did. They were too close. Too comfortable. And then it happened. She reached across the table, touched his hand, and laughed. That laugh, the same one Adrien used to hear when she was only his. Then she leaned in and kissed the man. Not a mistake. Not an awkward moment. A real kiss. Adrien didn't flinch. He didn't storm over or shout. He just lifted his phone and snapped a single photo. Then he walked out. Silent. Every step heavier than the last. Outside, the night air sliced through him like ice. As he reached his car, something made him turn back. Through the tavern window, he saw the man still holding Elise's hand. Their eyes met. The man saw him. Cold. Calculated. Then he leaned toward Elise, whispered something. Elise froze. Her smile disappeared. She looked around in panic, searching. But she never saw Adrien. He saw everything. And in that moment, it became clear. The message wasn't a warning. It was bait. A trap. Adrien drove home in silence, face blank, mind reeling. The house was untouched, dinner on the table, her favorite candle flickering. But something inside him had shifted. Something irreversible. He stared at their framed wedding photo in the hallway. Then his phone buzzed. A message from Elise. Clinical. Cold. I want a divorce. From here on, all communication will happen through attorneys only. No apology. No explanation. Just a digital guillotine slicing through everything they once shared. Adrien didn't reply. He didn't cry. He simply sat, still and silent, as the weight of the truth settled over him. By morning, Adrien had already contacted an attorney, Miranda Chase, sharp, no-nonsense, the kind of lawyer who didn't flinch. She listened carefully, then said only, "Give me everything." He handed her the photo, the message, the financial records, every shared account. That very day, Adrien began closing doors. He canceled Elise's credit cards, locked her out of joint accounts, changed passwords. Not out of revenge, out of self-preservation. Elise had made her choice. Adrien was just finishing the equation. 2 days later, Elise's attorney, Damon Pierce, smug and polished, sent a formal demand. Adrien was to resume full financial support for Elise immediately. Miranda's response was ruthless. She attached Elise's own divorce message and detailed every financial closure Adrien had made in response. Elise's team tried spinning a sob story. Friends called confused. Family whispered. Some accused Adrien of being cruel. But he said nothing. Let them believe whatever they wanted. Meanwhile, Miranda kept digging, and what she found was worse. Elise had tried to drain a forgotten joint account, one with enough savings to leave a dent. She nearly succeeded until Miranda stopped it. This wasn't about heartbreak. This was a calculated betrayal. The divorce turned bitter. Elise's lawyer painted her as a victim, claimed Adrien had emotionally abandoned her, that it drove her into the arms of another. But Miranda dismantled their lies with precision. She presented the message, the theft attempt, the affair photo, and every falsified claim. The judge saw it all. And then came the final blow. Anonymous complaints started surfacing at Adrien's company. Whispers. Lies. Doubts. Partnerships stalled. Deals fell through. But Adrien didn't panic. He and Miranda launched a full internal audit. Every accusation crumbled under evidence. Adrien's name was cleared, publicly. Only then did he realize Elise was behind it all, not just the affair. She had tried to destroy everything, his career, his name, his foundation. In the final court session, Elise broke down. She sobbed, accusing Adrien of abandoning her emotionally. Miranda remained composed. She read Elise's cold divorce message out loud, then presented evidence of her lies, her secret bank account, her manipulations. The judge didn't hesitate. Elise's current circumstances are the direct result of her own choices. Adrien retained full ownership of his premarital business. Elise's attempt to hide property backfired. Her alimony was slashed to the legal minimum, just enough to get by. Her mask fell apart. She left the courtroom alone, disgraced. Later, an old acquaintance met Adrien for drinks and filled in the missing piece. The man Elise had kissed, his name was Marcus Weller, a high-profile financial consultant notorious for seducing the spouses of wealthy clients. Marcus had sent the message to Adrien on purpose. He wanted Adrien to witness the betrayal, to drive him away and make room for himself. But Marcus miscalculated. He didn't know Adrien's business was untouchable. He didn't know Elise would end up with nothing. When the reality hit, Marcus vanished. Cut ties. Left Elise behind. Adrien didn't celebrate. He didn't gloat. He just walked away. Quiet. Steady. The man who once believed in forever had changed. He was calmer now. Sharper. Stronger. And while the pain remained, he understood something important. He hadn't lost everything. He had only lost the illusion. And sometimes, that's the hardest truth to face.